In the early 1900s, the South was deep in the grip of Jim Crow laws, a system that was designed to keep Black Americans oppressed. Nowhere was this more visible than in public education. Schools for Black children were often one-room shacks with leaky roofs, no heat, no running water, and outdated or hand-me-down books from white schools. These conditions weren't just poor, they were intentional. State governments heavily underfunded Black education, and federal support was nearly non-existent. But even in the face of this injustice, Black communities didn't give up. They organized, they taught, and they dreamed of something better for their children. One man saw a path forward, and that was Booker T. Washington, the founder of Tuskegee Institute. He believed that education was the cornerstone of freedom and advancement for Black Americans, but he knew the government wouldn't help and wasn't waiting for that option. Washington believed in self-help and community-driven solutions. He envisioned a partnership where Black communities could team up with outside allies to build real schools. He also knew that education had to be practical, not just academic, but focused on literacy, trades, and life skills. With Tuskegee's resources, Booker T. Washington began drafting blueprints for a better future, and he was about to find a powerful partner. That partner was Julius Rosenwald, a Jewish philanthropist and president of Sears, Roebuck and Company. Though he lived in Chicago, Rosenwald was deeply moved by the struggle of Black Americans in the South. After meeting Booker T. Washington, he was inspired to help. Rosenwald offered funding, but with a twist. The money would be released if the local Black community could raise matching funds. That could be money, materials, or even volunteer labor. This model wasn't just charity, it was empowerment. And communities took ownerships of their schools, and white landowners were sometimes required to contribute too. With Julius Rosenwald's help, the movement caught fire. From 1912 to 1937, over 5,000 Rosenwald schools were built in the southern states. These schools educated more than 600,000 Black children, a generation of future teachers, doctors, artists, and leaders. The buildings followed a simple but thoughtful designs, big windows for natural light, good ventilation, and room for learning and gathering. And even better, these schools were designed by a Black architect from Tuskegee. Local communities contributed land, lumber, bricks, and labor. Many held fish fries, bake sales, or sold crops to raise funds. Despite segregation, despite poverty, these communities made miracles happen. Notable alumni of Rosenwald Schools include Maya Angelou, Medgar Evers, John Lewis. These schools weren't just about reading and writing. They were about identity, dignity, and possibility. After the 1954 Brown versus Board of Education decision, integration slowly began. Many Rosenwald schools were closed, abandoned, or even torn down. For years, their story was nearly lost. But now, historians and communities are working to preserve and restore these historic schools. They're being turned into museums, community centers, and cultural landmarks. The movement that started with a partnership between a Black educator and a Jewish businessman is now once again inspiring a new generation. Rosenwald schools are a symbol of what happens when people come together for justice and opportunity. They're not just history, they're a blueprint for the future. Follow me for more local history and genealogy tips and share this story, and let's help preserve the legacy of Rosenwald schools.